European Union scientists say the world has just experienced the hottest January on record. The Copernicus Climate Service says the average temperature was 1.75 Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Our climate and environment correspondent Joan Fisher has more details.
The amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere is still rising, and while that's the case, scientists expect global temperatures to continue to go up. But there's other factors at play. In the tropical Pacific Ocean, the naturally occurring El Niño and La Niña phenomena have impacts on global weather. The latest El Niño, which has a warming effect, peaked at the start of last year. So it was expected that with a cooling La Niña on the way, this January might be slightly cooler. Instead, it's 0.1 degrees hotter than last year.
The Deputy Prime Minister Angela Regner has told a meeting of bereaved relatives and survivors of the Grenfell fire that the tower will be dismantled. A formal announcement is expected to be made tomorrow, but some relatives of the 72 people who died in the disaster in 2017 have already expressed dismay at the decision. It's thought to have been made on the advice of engineers who warn that the building's structure is becoming unsafe. Emma Dent.
Okay, good morning boys and girls. I've come down to Coltsford Mill this morning near Oxted in sort of Kent, Surrey sort of region. Nice and early, just driving past what looks like it's the main lake. Never been here before. The water looks a bit coloured, little island in the middle there. Seen one or two fish moving on the surface. I'm here this morning at Coltsford Mill Trout fishery near Oxted, Kent Surrey border, just south of the M25, meeting up with Mark Osborne and another Canvey great export, Brian. Not met him before, so two new experiences. Come down to fish Coltsford Mill Trout fishery for the very first time. Still waiting for the boys to arrive. The light is beginning to improve. I've never been here before. I don't know anything about the fishery. So I'm sure that Mark will give me the rundown when he arrives. Apparently there are 3 lakes and the Cascades, a series of little waterways between the river and the lakes. So we're going to spend the day exploring. I'm seeing a few fish moving around. It's quite chilly this morning. The dashboard says 1 degree. It was -1 when I left my house, and there's a little bit of frost on the ground. Sitting here in this beautiful rural setting. I've got farm fields to my right, birds singing, and I can see a fox. I can see 1 or 2 little brave rabbits. And we've got all sorts of birds sitting in the trees close to me, chattering away. Really does seem like quite a beautiful place. Watched 1 or 2 videos on YouTube last night. Very Big Plums was down here a couple of years ago, sort of mid-June. He had a little bit of fun. Robert Alp was down here, and kept pulling into them, losing them, and gentleman on the corner there who's already started, he is playing a fish. You okay with that? Did you need a hand? You're not hanging around this morning, are you? You're not hanging around this morning, are you? Yeah. It's a lovely looking fish. Well, it's my first visit here this morning, so I'm coming to sneak a peek at your fly. So it's quite a small fly, isn't it?
No, it's a snake.
Ah, I see.
Black-and-green snake.
So you're on an intermediate line, are you?
No, closer.
Got it. He's a beautifully finned fish, isn't he?
Yeah. Just have a little nick out the tail.
Yeah.
That's from the from like the breeders, I think.
Yeah, probably in the stew ponds as they're going,
Yeah.
swimming around. Yeah, well done that man. Well done. There's plenty moving on the surface too. Yeah.
We don't get confused with coots.
Yeah. So what's the best tactics? You say you put a snake on there. What would be the best way for a newbie here to?
Well, the lakes are not that deep, you know, so I don't subscribe to sinking lines or intermediate. The lakes are no deeper than 9 foot anywhere. You know?
Yeah.
So weighted fly, it's going to go down 6 foot.
Yeah. So a sensible length for leader and a,
Yeah, a 9 foot leader.
yeah.
And then go down and try different depths. You know? Obviously, when you pull, the fly's going to come up.
Yep.
So I just do erratic pulls and then stop and let it.
Mm-hmm. Make it dance, mate. Make it dance.
Try and put like a dance on it and try to annoy him. Really,
Yeah, it's an encouraging start to the day, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, very tranquil this time of day. I like it.
So many different bird species chattering away in the background.
Yeah, could do with turning the central heating up a bit.
Yeah.
Speed restriction on at the moment.
Ooh, yeah.
M25 always blocked. Right.
Not my favourite bit of road.
Well, you picked a lovely morning for it anyway.
Yeah.
And, we're going to play costly one, but it's perfect.
Right. This is just
Coltsford Mill for you.
Coltsford Mill.
Not the biggest fisher in the world, but it's quite pretty.
Absolutely.
Doing it the opposite way round at the moment, when we go round that way, but we're going this way. It's easy when you're in the car park.
Yeah. No, I was looking on YouTube yesterday for other videos to get some ideas.
Yeah.
There's very few videos of this fishery.
I know.
And there's nothing more recent than 2 years ago when Chad Goymer was here.
Yes.
Chad and I fished together a bit. Biggest nutcase with a fishing rod, but love him dearly.
Oh, he's lovely. Yeah, I've met him a few times. We do a winter league against Brick Farm and Shady Beach and a couple of others. And I've met him a few times down here. So he's a lovely guy, actually.
Isn't he?
Right, so this is the Lower Cascade.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we'll take a walk up there.
Yeah.
Self-explanatory then. But yeah, the Lower Cascade is all yours to fish. Anywhere around that island basically is always quite productive. Depth around, everything's around here is around sort of 7 to 8 foot.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much deeper, there's a couple of little areas where it's slightly deeper, but average 7 to 8 foot.
I can see this being a challenge casting during the summer months when everything is in full leaf.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's well manicured, so
Yeah.
it's not.
Wedding venue as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, you're right. So yeah, so that's yeah, that's one of the main incomes of fishery, obviously.
That really
it drives me up the wall, but hey, it accidentally does fall out of people's pockets as well.
Boys and girls, don't throw your wasted fishing line on the floor. Stick it in your pocket, take it home.
Exactly, but
Right,
this time of year,
so-
nice thing is when it is frosty, I actually see it a mile away. So,
If you look over there, you can see a couple of
this is all yours
coots.
to fish. So this is
Oh, wow.
Stock size is 2.5 plus.
Yeah.
It's more 2.5 to be fair. Up to double figures. That's throughout the lakes. Cascades maybe not quite as big as in terms of double wise.
Yeah.
But certainly a good average. Top cascade here. This is probably deep.
Wow.
Around 9 foot. This is quite deep here. You can see the height difference between the two cascades.
Yeah.
So obviously this is slightly deeper. As you go round, obviously you can go all the way up through here.
Yeah.
You see a little swim up here.
Yeah.
And that's where the feed is for the cascades. You'll see that as we come back round in a second.
Yeah.
It drops down to about 12.
Fed from the
14
Eden,
foot.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tributary of the Eden, so it all sort of provides with one. The only downside with it is a bit of the Spate River, so it can colour up the lakes quite badly.
Yeah.
But obviously it's a good river, so it does clear it pretty quickly. So the water is clearing after that last heavy rain we had.
Yeah.
But it is getting there. So you've got willow, still related to two. So what you'll find with willow is this takes the predominant feed. This also takes the first of the feed of the river.
Yeah.
So to be honest with you, my man, up that end's where you need to be.
Nice fish just
Oh
off
yes,
the point
so
there.
yes, you'll find there's the flows, the flows up this end, sort of end, that's far end of willow.
Yeah.
It comes in and obviously exits it here.
Yeah.
Mill. Be very truthful. That's probably the most popular swim on the site. To be fair, it's where flow is. It's where trout are going to be.
Yeah.
So fish blue flash damsel to whatever you fancy. To be honest with you, as long as you get beyond that flow, you should be able to pick fish up, especially first thing this morning. So if you're nice and early, so to be honest with you, I would definitely take that advantage of that swim.
Yep.
Because you might not get into it later. So exact same with mill pond, same with cascades and mill pond, same sort of stock size. You have rainbow spartics, a few browns, obviously, and then you've got blues. So it's got a variation, a few bits in there.
And it's catch and take on all species.
Yeah, I mean the only one we're a little bit short on is of the tide trout at the moment, but that will no doubt sort itself out eventually as the months go on. It's just a lack of them around.
If you get a really sensible one, do you want it put back, or do you want?
No, everything can be
Everything
taken.
gets
There's no restrictions on. It's caught as a brown trout, you've got to keep it, or you don't have to put it back. If you do want to put, we do say it's an unwritten rule. If you do catch a brown, if you don't want it, you're more welcome to put it back. But a gentleman caught one 2 days ago. First ever brown, he's going to take it. So it's fine.
Yeah.
View of sunrise.
Isn't
Mill
it
pond.
stunning? Isn't it
It's all
stunning?
been cut back. We always cut everything back this time of year,
Yeah.
so it still hasn't been quite finished. But we will get. The weather's been on our case. It's not been good this year.
Absolutely.
Depth-wise, again, averages 7 to 8 foot. 2 areas. The first peg here, what we call peg 9, casting towards the old bridge here.
Yep.
That's normally a slightly deeper area here, so that is quite a holding area for fish. So definitely worth a go there. Far left-hand corner of Mill Pond, the other side of that willow tree, right in that corner. There's 3 platforms. Brian's on the right-hand platform.
Yep.
The left-hand one's quite productive. I think Brian's already caught one as well.
Yes,
so,
I videoed
Brian's
him.
a very, very early
Videoed him.
bird.
Yeah.
He gets here.
I saw him coming. I'd been in 5 minutes and parked up when he followed me in.
Yeah,
So.
he is certainly a committed angler. I'll give him that one. Whatever the weather, Monday to Thursday, he's here.
Is committed or should be committed?
Oh well, there you go. But he loves it, absolutely loves it. And even when we had that storm come through, he was here. Only one, but he was here.
I was trying to keep my kitchen roof on during the storm.
I know, but he was here. Don't worry, he'll find it. He'll find a spot fish, so he loves it. As we come round, obviously that's the outlet for the mill pond.
Yep.
So the water feed just tumbles down there.
Yeah. In Robert Alp's video, he was standing off of there, casting across to there.
Yeah, there was
Flicked one over there, and then something dragged it, and you could see the fish trying to get down in there.
Yeah, but they don't seem to be here at the moment. They seem to be this side of the bridge, in this sort of open water.
Yeah.
They did get when I think when we did come down. It is. I'm biased, obviously, but we do a lot of work to keep it maintained as it is. We always say we're going to build another lake, but not this side of this year anyway.
That's a big commitment.
It is.
Big financial commitment.
It is, but business is doing very well, so I can't. For a little place where we don't advertise, we don't really do a lot with, as in keep it to ourselves.
Yep.
That's all right.
Well,
It's,
my fishing buddy Mark has got a really nasty knee problem at the moment. He didn't particularly want to be travelling to our... We normally go down to the likes of Rockbourne and the likes of that.
I've never managed to get a chance to fish Rockbourne. I will do.
Beautiful fishery.
I will do. I have quite a few records to do fish
Yeah.
it.
In all honesty, it's my favourite fishery, and it's just a place of sanctity and solitude.
Exactly. I mean,
And Simeon does a great
I
job.
will get my chance to get there.
Yeah.
Looking after this place is the guys at Rockbourne probably well know it's very hard to go elsewhere.
Absolutely.
It's full time. It just doesn't.
Absolutely.
So that's the ready menu. I don't
Yep.
need to know that.
Nope.
You take the faces of the fishery.
Yep. Oh, this is the interesting bit. Strange that Mark isn't here yet. I would have thought he would have been. There again. He's got another 12 minutes before he's late.
I think we've got a few booked in today. Our online system went down on the web page.
Yeah.
And
Okay, boys and girls. Leaving the car park now. Just had a phone call from Mark. They're stuck on the M25 in some very heavy traffic. In his usual polite and colloquial way, he said he's stuck in shit. So I'm going to go up and have a little play around. Lovely little bit of frost on the ground this morning, a little bit of whitening, slightly crisp underfoot, a little bit of a crunch. So as I walk up this quite steep little bank, you come up and this presents itself in front of you. Isn't it just beautiful? This apparently is where the inlet for the fishery is. And the recommendation was I came and give this a go try first. So, ooh, that's quite a climb up that hill. I must be getting old or something. No, for a tippet I've got about 11 feet of Grand Max 9.5 pound, way overkill for here, but it's a very narrow diameter line, more like a 6 pound line. Gives really good knot strength and I just feel confident using it. And we have a fish on. Yes. So my first ever take at Coltsford Mill, and we have a fish on, and he's burrowing deep, banging away on the end of the rod. It's a very slow take. Very slow take. Very slow, deliberate. It's as though he's just sauntered up, sipped it, turned away. To get the reel ready, go down on my knees, and it's not even Sunday. Come away from there. Looks like a rainbow. And he's in the net. And he's a beautiful rainbow of about 3.5 to 4 pounds. Lovely fish. Okay, be back in a second. So, as with all of my hooks, I tied the fly on barbless, and that's what the fish has taken. And there is the fish. And the hook just popped straight out in the mouth. So, very first fish here at Coltsford Mill near Oxted, and what a beautiful fish it is. So let's get this on the stringer. So the stringer consists of 4 of these snap hooks. You've all seen them being used before. They're a brilliant idea. I wish I had the patent on them. Let's get this into the water, keep it cool, and have another go here at this beautiful, beautiful fishery. A fishery that geographically is 23 miles from my house, but to get here you have to go around the M25, and that puts another 18 to 20 miles on it. And as Mark is proving this morning, and he comes around the same route from Canvey Island, and he is still not here. So it was just little gentle short tweaks, and I paused it and I let it sink down. And then just gentle tweaks, slow, very slow, and it jumped on board and just straightened the line. What a beautiful start to the day. I've been fishing for about 40 minutes. Wow, what a lovely cast. Cover a different little piece of water. I don't know if that's, oh, it's a coot. Every once in a while my eyes are being distracted by a swirl on the water over to my left, and it's a little diving duck of some sort. I think it's a coot or a pole. It was a nice solid tug. I see a white car carrying 2 people from Canvey Island, and I have a fish on. Number 2. So Mark and Brian have just arrived, and he has just stuck a middle finger up at me watching me playing the fish. At least I think it was a middle finger. This one's really pulling on. They are hard fighting fish, boys and girls. They are hard fighting fish. I mean, this is a powerful rod that he's turning round. And he's not a big fish. He's not a big fish. He's in the net. This one's slightly smaller, this one's about £2. But my goodness me, did he give a go? It's a beautiful table fish, that one. Okay, I'll be back in a second. I've dispatched the fish, and the barbless hook just slips out without any difficulty whatsoever. As you can see, it's got some gold in it, it's got some black, some silver flash, and it's got some black, and it's doing the business. So number 2, a little rainbow of about £2. So then we'll put him on the stringer. So it's quite a nice size comparison. There's a heron squawking away just over my head there. So it's quite a nice little size comparison with the two fish. Both taken on the black and silver frits. Very nice too. Let's put them in the water.
Far end of the willow, I saw a guy, he's just got straight up the far end of the willow, he's just caught a fish.
Where's Mark? There's Mark.
Hello, darling.
I thought I'd come down and take the piss out of you.
You're two in already then?
Yeah, Brian. We meet at last.
Oh, Brian.
How you doing?
Chris,
All right,
Chris,
Chris?
Brian.
Recognise the fluff on the
Right.
chin from the
So
pictures.
three fish as well.
Two in.
Two in, yeah. I've had a good wander around.
Nice.
Tried-
What do you think?
So far, I think it's one of the most beautiful places I've fished since the last time I went out fishing.
Well, very funny. You'll get used to him.
He put me straight onto two bum swims though, because the first thing I did was try and pull two trees out of the ground.
Yeah. Well, if you do,
That's what happens when you aerialise with your flies.
The far end of willow, I just caught one straight away. So just
Yeah.
to wind you up, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll just give you payment.
Yeah.
And that you
So you've had a bit of fun.
You want a copy of that? Yes, please.
my fault. I picked Brian up at
Press
6:30.
I'll give you a till
I should have
six,
picked
so
him
you
up
have
at
paid.
6.
I was in Clackett eating my breakfast at 6:30.
Yeah, really.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was still in bed.
well, grew up with some, innit?
Have a lovely
Cheers. So, what's the journey time like for you then?
45 minutes.
That's not bad, is it?
But I came down through Blackwall and it was just easy run through.
Brian, your sort of journey you've got.
Yeah, going back, I'll leave now and I'll get home next week.
Yeah.
Well, we could be the same actually.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when we got over the Dartford Bridge, the tailback for the tunnel was back to Junction 4, which is,
Woof.
Bromley, is it?
Yeah,
Or?
yeah.
Have you fished the Cascades yet? Or
No, I'm going to put a little egg on and just drift
chuck
it.
in?
Yeah.
Why
I've got
not?
2 up there. I've gone for a 4-fish ticket, but he said I can upgrade if I want
Yeah.
to.
Well,
But yeah, I'm currently using a sort of black and sparkly sort of beaded fritz.
are you on floating line?
Floating line, yeah. It's only about 6 or 8 feet deep apparently.
I'll just set the one rod up.
So
Nothing. It just stayed there. And I went to see the bailiff, but there was no one there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to leave it.
So you dropped a pipeline.
Yes.
You couldn't flush it.
Yeah.
And it sat there and smiled at the next arsehole that went in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to put the lid down and put a label on it. Gone for a tape measure, could be a world record.
We were at Rockbourne, one of Martin's days. There was 30-something people in the clubhouse, and I'd been let's call it live streaming. And about 15 minutes after we'd sat there, started having our buffet lunch, I'd turned my camera off, and I got up and I went out onto the veranda, and I peeled one out which could be heard in the local town. Unfortunately, where I had gone and leant against the rail, it was still within fallout range of both Martin and Peter's wives. I am now on the floor crying my eyes out. Martin Williams has come out and he says, "Are you okay? Shall I call an ambulance?" I've stood up, tears streaming down my face, gone to go back in, and I got a round of applause from everybody. Two people that I'd been having a chat with, two youngsters, first timers with the group, they ran out the back door when they saw me coming back in. And I got a mention on a couple of Martin's videos thereafter, both on FaceTube and YouBook. Chris has got a little bit of a problem with wind. So, yeah, everybody looks at me now when there's anything other than a zephyr blowing, just in case it's me. But this is just beautiful, isn't it?
I said to Brian, I said, because it's a wedding venue and that picture's taken all around, I said it's pristine,
It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Right.
Let's be fair, it's on our doorsteps, isn't it, really?
Well, 40 minutes, that didn't include the 20 minutes I had at Clackett.
Yeah.
I had one of the bacon wraps, which was McDonald's finest. Shit.
Yeah.
I regret it.
So is it a fast strip, a slow strip?
Very slow, very slow. Let it go down, very slow. Right, let's go down and see what we can do. He did say we can, if we are successful, we can have another ticket.
Yeah.
Or we can up it by one. But of the venues we go to, this is the least expensive.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Yeah. So boys are settling in, and I'm going to go back and resume. I've given Mark one of the flies that has brought me my two fish. Couple of Chinook helicopter over in the distance. So here we go. Round two. You know that BFD that you lost, that huge one at Lechlade on?
Yeah.
I tied that one as a result of that. And I can testify that the hook is sharp.
Give him a wallet. That's a big fish, Chris.
In the name of Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That's why they call it a priest.
Yeah. I just pretend it's the wife.
I get threefold pleasure from fly fishing for trout. I get, yeah, look at the decent, that's a beautiful fish. I get the pleasure of the hunt and the fight and everything like that, and the pleasure of ripping it out of my best friend. Then I get the pleasure of the smile on her face when I get home, and then I get the pleasure of the smile when we share these incredible creatures with our friends. So yeah,
It's good to have good neighbours.
oh yes.
And friends.
it's a beautiful venue, with it being a wedding venue and all of that sort of thing.
The
Yeah.
only problem when there's a wedding, it's a bit of a pain that sometimes you're not allowed onto the cascade because the bride doesn't want to see someone
Wafting.
exactly. But I think, well, it was a fishery first.
Yeah.
Before it was a wedding venue, so you know you put up.
So taking a little walk down to the upper cascade. Still on the egg, still under the indicator. Need one for my bag, and I have it on. So I have a fish on. A little bit precarious here because there's quite a steep bank. Didn't like the side of the net there. Okay. Okay, so number 4, this one on the indicator. The egg, as always, has come out in the net. There we go. Number 4, fish of the same sort of size, fish of about £3. Always a way, Mark. There's always a way. There's always a way.
It's not a very big fish, but he's really fighting hard, really thumping. And I thought,
You alright with the net?
yeah, I thought he was. Did you get it? I thought he was foul. Look, he went off like a carp in the margins. You know?
Yeah.
But he's just a tough cookie.
He's what, about 2.5, 3?
Yeah. He's not.
He's not ready yet.
He's not. He's still got his head down. I've been
Yeah.
fanning him for 5 minutes. I hooked him just after you went off, and he tore off. Of course, you've got to keep him away from the tree roots.
The tore one off.
He tore off.
So did you go for a 3 or a 4 ticket?
Went for a 3, possibly changed to a 5.
He's just given me another 2 fish for 32.
Oh, that's good again. That's membership price, isn't it?
Yeah. We've been having some lovely chats. Tell you what, he's a knowledgeable man. He's the sort of guy you need as a bailiff.
I find everyone here is approachable.
and helpful. Come on, no, come on, darling. See, it's not a big fish, Chris, but it just...
So it's number 2, yeah?
This is number 2. I'm going to have to stop in a minute because my back's giving me a bit of hoo-ha. It's yours, it's yours, it's yours, it's ours. Yeah.
Well done.
That's it.
Well done. So, the Canvey King, Chalk Springs champion, got his number tooth on a
nice
VFD.
fish, yeah.
We're looking at about 3 to 3.5.
That's an MW BFD.
Is it?
I would say so.
All right, I'll let you.
Nice
I'll let you give him a headache, and then I'm going to go and catch my next one.
Right. Come on, sweetheart.
I meant to have a wee whilst I was down there, but there was a coup. That net's not done anything to harm you. Hit the fish instead. One more.
What I need is the big one that's in there. But
Has done it. Well done, sir.
thank you, young man.
You're finally on the video today. Right. So it's Mark's second one. He's got one more to go for his limit. I'm going to have another play up here. Same pattern, same techniques, same amount of fun. We've come down to the bottom of the Cascades near the outlet. Mark is taking photographs. You're really risking that camera of yours, you realise that, don't you?
Bulletproof.
Bloody well need to be with me around.
I've got it for the play store.
But we've spotted an inflow. And where the water's coming in, there's usually interested in the feed that's coming in with it. It's just such a beautiful place, Mark, it really is.
Sorry, mate?
Such a beautiful place, it really is.
Brian's not caught yet.
Oh dear. You wind him up and tell him I'm on my second ticket. All in all, I've had an absolutely wonderful morning. If I don't catch anything else, it really doesn't matter. Oh, something's nibbling. And we have a fish on. We have a fish on. We have a fish on. Feels like quite a strong one too. He's a beautiful fish. He's a beautiful fish. A glorious rainbow. And he's in the net. Well, thank you very much indeed, Coltsford Mill. another classic rainbow trout, and the egg pattern has come out in the net, the barbless hooks as it usually does. Yeah, another one of the same size, about £3. Okay. So we're heading back towards the car now. I've had a superb day. I've had 5 fish. But I'm getting tired. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting cold. Not a good combination. How's your luck? Any more? I just got my 5th one. Yeah, I've got one more, but I also got a lot of motorways to drive. So I'll save it for next time. Leave it for somebody else to catch. Yep, good luck. So I've packed up, put everything in the car. I'm just going to have a last little walk up, see if I can find Mark and Brian and see how they're getting on. And then I'm going to head home. Friday afternoon on the M25 can be quite fun. So I'm not going to leave it too late. What's the time? It is 20 past 1. That's a lovely languid swing, sir. See if the boys are up in the tea shed. See the back of someone's head. I'm looking for 2 lost boys from Essex. Yeah, they're not in here. They're not in here. I'm going to go and find. Yeah, Canvey, yeah. Okay. Still nothing?
If there's fish there, I can catch them.
I know you can. I know you can. I was just saying you were practicing your cast into your bathtub the other night, so you should be okay.
That spot over there, at that time, there was nothing at all.
Yeah. No, happy for you, mate. Really happy for you.
Oh my!
I pulled out of one by the overflow. Bung's gone woof, boing, woof, boing, and when it's going down again, I've lifted it, and I didn't feel it, but the bung's just gone over my head into a tree. So I thought, Oxted Oscar time. So you've had, Mark, how many? 2?
Yeah, just the 2 so far.
See, these people, they've got no fucking idea how to do the job, have they? I mean,
You see,
Never
We're
even
sitting down
assume
there.
I know what day it is.
we were sitting down there, and I was talking to you, and I had nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I came up here after lunch, and I've been here for half an hour, and I've had 3.
brilliant,
The
brilliant. That inflow is just an absolute magnet for them.
yeah.
I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to go and sit in the traffic on the M25 and then up through the Blackwall Tunnel and then through Stratford. There'll be a traffic jam outside my front door as well. You watch that.
Always a pleasure, Chris.
Mark, thank you very, very much indeed.
Well, mate,
Thank you for arranging this
it's about time
today.
we all got here, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's such a nice fishery.
It's beautiful and I will be back.
Soon, let's.
I will be back. Brian?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Congratulations, mate.
give that all free.
Oh dear. I was told to take the piss out of him at every opportunity.
What, Dazzle?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm sure he told you what happened at Testwood that day with his big 19-pounder when he threw it back.
I think, yeah,
He told me at the start of the day not to video him,
did.
right? and I'm running round and I'm 5 yards away from him, and I turn the camera off, and the next thing I'm sliding arse first into the frigging water with his fish between my legs.
And he's going, Chris, help me. Oh, shall I do that for you, Darren? Yes, please.
I've not laughed so much in all my life.
No,
and he was still on the phone to his mates 2.5 hours later.
2.5 weeks later.
Yeah, I didn't see that bit. I would have recorded that as well. Oh man, he's such a funny guy.
Oh, we love him. He's tremendous. Are you filming?
Well, boys and girls, we've come to the end of this fabulous visit here to Coltsford Mill Trout fishery near Oxted. Apparently the building actually stands on the meridian line, the Greenwich meridian line. So half of it is yesterday, half of it is tomorrow. I've had 5 lovely fish. Pretty much everything that I've hooked I've landed. So I'm very grateful for that. Mark has had 2 big fish. Brian has had 3 in very quick succession. So he's happy.